Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, on the blogger site as an archive post thingy, and on Patreon for extra support. And any kind of updates usually I go about on Twitter. I've been a little bit more active than usual lately. But yeah, I usually try to use it when I go live doing some live streams. Yesterday I didn't manage to do so, and probably today I will manage to publish the VOD, the latest VOD from the last live stream that I did. And later we will get also Dead Space Remake episode. So keep your eyes peeled for that later. Yesterday, I mentioned I did the normal gaming news episode, but I had the kind of the Assassin's Creed Shadows trailer rant kind of a thing there. It was more about focusing on several aspects there. It's not a rant in the sense that it's just trying to push out some drama, but it's more a rant about speaking about the situation itself with some backup materials there from stuff that happened after the trailer came out and all the response that a lot of people had. But yeah, I did that as a separate episode because, as you can see, I took around 23 minutes or something like that. Because again, I've been doing a lot of those rating things, and it takes a lot of the video itself. The last I don't know 3 videos that I did on gaming news, when I start rambling too much on a certain subject, it gets too long for what I want to achieve for the gaming news thing there. But yeah, I separated in both in 2 videos the gaming news yesterday basically. I will probably start calling them gaming rants, kind of a series there. I think it serves better the purpose of just focusing on one topic that I usually know that I will take a little bit more time there. But yeah, got both of them there. Today is going to be relatively smooth. Some stuff to talk about, but nothing that I'm going to focus too much on that, on just one subject. But yeah, let's go. Similarly, Intel Battlemage, so the second generation discrete GPU stuff from Intel, similarly is receiving support in the background. There is the LLVM patch stuff, which I assume it's Lunar Lake, like whatever it is, something in the background. I'm really not sure what it is. But we've been seeing a lot of this in this, I don't know, framework kind of a thing there, or platform. Um, Almost read it like a Lunar Lake virtual machine kind of a thing. I don't know what it is, but it is identified a lot of GPU stuff, and we've been seeing a lot of updates regarding this lately. And yeah, again, this continues to increase the expectation that probably Battlemage will at least be announced during this year. Again, the previous roadmap, or one of the roadmaps that was leaked almost a year ago, I think, supposedly the Battlemage, at least early enabling, was about first quarter to second quarter of this year. But yeah, heard some delays there. I don't think there is like huge issues with Battlemage in terms of the overall pipeline. I think they're just delayed a little bit there. I assume to smooth out certain things. But yeah, in terms of expectations of performance, I think they are still the same, at least from what I've been seeing. So the high-end Battlemage should try to be competitive on the level in terms of performance of a 4080 non-super series, around that thing, which is a huge increase in terms of performance regarding generation to generation, because Alchemist competes around almost to a 4060 kind of a thing there, or it tries to, but it doesn't compete that much with a 4060, but it tries to. The ceiling is around about there, supposedly, give or take. But yeah, similarly, the entry level from Battlemage, so the BMG G21 might feature again 20xe cores. I don't know what this is going to translate to in terms of SMs, but supposedly we'll have a 192-bit bus and around 12 gigabyte VRAM, which is good. If they implement this on the entry level, I think it's finally a recognition that entry-level GPUs will need to start to carry out more than 8 gigabytes of VRAM and speedy RAM in that sense, not only in quantity but being more fast. I think it's a good choice there. I don't think we will see this from the 50 series, in the lower end, like the 5060. I think the plan is still keeping up with the 8 gigabyte VRAM quantity, even though I think with this GDDR7 memory, it allows it to have like bigger memory blocks there in terms of VRAM and different quantities that manufacturers can choose. But I think they will not even implement GDDR7. It doesn't make a lot of sense given that it's a new type of memory. It might be a little bit more expensive, and I will assume that lower end GPUs will not benefit of that huge amount of extra memory speed and bandwidth to take advantage from these GPUs. But yeah, hopefully other manufacturers and of course also AMD will start to implement minimum 12 gigabytes of memory there on the GPUs there, and supposedly also will support PCIe Gen 5 X8 support. Again, if not mistaken, even the 4090 only supports will not even take the advantage of using PCIe 4 X16 speeds in terms of bandwidth, so it's not something to worry about that much in terms of the PCI Gen kind of support there. But again, future proof is always good, even though PCIe connectors are they support older. It's compatible with older PCI versions, so there is no huge issue there. I just hope that again that this generation is more competitive, especially if they can be competitive at least with the middle with the AMD, because AMD is just going to launch the middle range. It's not going to have like a high-end GPU stuff. If they manage to compete there, I think that could be some gains there for Intel. But yeah, hopefully we will get something decent from the Battlemage generation there. Then we got some, I didn't cover this at the time, but yeah, now ASUS posts an official statement concerning recent RMA issues, and this recent RMA issues comes basically from Gamers Nexus undercover kind of a thing there that they did. They just pose themselves as a normal client, trying to do and go through the process of RMA. They usually, from time to time, they do this to test out how companies are working with normal clients, because if they identify it out of the get-go as Gamers Nexus, for sure they will have a different treatment, because Gamers Nexus is a big tech channel. They do a lot of reviews, they do some investigation reporting, they do an excellent job, a lot of excellent job on their channel there. And yeah, they had some complications. I think I watched the entirety of the video. I watched this like when it came out. This was 6 days ago, almost a week ago. The recent feedback was like some gaps in the RMA communication process in the US and Canada. We did apologize. Again, we'll see how it goes. This when they announce these kind of things, if they implement anything, it always takes a lot of time, because there is a chain that has to follow through from the up top until it's implemented on the lower ends of this RMA process here. But yeah, it was not good. I really advise you. Again, it's almost half an hour, but I think it's well worth it for you to see what kind of issues they encounter regarding the RMA process. They basically were that, yeah, it was not a good experience. And assuming that, given that less experienced people or a normal client that doesn't have the knowledge of these kind of processes and how to circumvent them and deal with them, you will get basically scammed. You can be scammed in an RMA process, and in this case with the ASUS, and they were focusing on the, how they call it, this one, ROG Ally or whatever it is, this handheld. It's so ridiculous in some aspects that I don't know how they are still they are still in the business, because they are a huge company. But yeah, there's been a lot of blunderings throughout the last year, at least, from the 7800 X3Ds exploding on their motherboards, to other stuff regarding Intel, I think. Also with the power limits. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff lately and last year regarding ASUS, and it's not good. It's not very good. And in the overall scheme of things, all these tech companies, especially the ones that sell PC DIY components from motherboards, GPUs, and everything, they don't have like an excellent track record regarding RMA. But yeah, I really do recommend you to watch the video, because it gives you an overall opinion on how things are going at this moment in time. But yeah, again, I will leave links on everything that I talk about in the description below. Passing through to then gaming news. Ghost of Tsushima just came out yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. It has very positive reviews. Again, I don't doubt it, and we all know that the game is excellent on a technical level. The main issue with that, especially on PC gamers have with this, is the PSN thing there. The game is delisted on Steam on countries that don't have access to create an account on PSN, on PlayStation Network. It will stifle sales for sure, and I will assume that will encourage piracy on those countries, and to a certain extent might even encourage people that, even though they can buy it just out of spite and not make a sell to PlayStation, they will pirate the game and play it by themselves, because it's a single player game, just out of spite of PlayStation Network and their policies regarding this PSN requirement linking account with games on Steam. Yeah. Again, the game is excellent by itself. It's not fault from the developers there, which I completely forgot the name of. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot the name of the developer. Yeah, I'm terrible remembering names of things. But yeah, I completely forgot. I had an open page somewhere, but I closed already. Sucker Punch. I think it's what they call the developer. I think it's Sucker Punch. Yeah, one of the interesting things regarding the situation regarding the Steam thing regarding the PC port here is the fact that this is going to be the first game that will basically, without any kind of modding, will support both DLSS upscaling with FSR-free frame generation. This means this kind of both world situation here, because people that don't have a GeForce 40 series, they can use and benefit with frame generation while upscaling with the DLSS thing there. There is a case here of using a 3090, even though it's a rare case of the 30 series, but like 3080s and such, that can use DLSS upscaling, even though it's not the DLSS free, I think. I'm not sure how if it is integrated there. But yeah, you can use upscaling on NVIDIA using the DLSS upscaling, which is at least the better version for now, and then activate the FSR-free fake frame stuff there. And there is a user that basically managed to use use no to get 170 FPS on 4K maxed out. The game itself is already well optimized. Usually Nexus does excellent ports for PCs, so I think it's if you're going to buy it, and even if you have an older generation GPU from Nvidia, I think you can benefit out of this. This is a single player game. It has some you might have some issues with the lag there because of the frame generation. I think this game uses system parry, if not mistaken. So you might have some issues there, but at least you can use it independently of not having RTX 40 cards, which is good in that sense. But yeah, other than that, the policies of PlayStation on now in any kind of PC port that they launch, basically they are releasing from Steam the countries that don't support the PSN account creation. That is not good. That is leaving 100 and almost 180 country zones kind of a thing out of the gate there, because PSN I think is only supported in 69 countries, which is basically North America, some South American countries, most of Europe supports that, but you left out basically entire continents from Russia. I'm not sure about China, but most of Africa doesn't have access to that. A lot of countries from South American countries also cannot support the creation of a PSN account. So yeah, a lot of people are left out there regarding being able to buy this game on a legal basis. But yeah, these kind of things, when you try to remove access to people playing games, you will get a lot of the continuation and the support of pirated games, which it's not good for business. And again, because PC community in overall, usually it's very supportive of accessibility and all that jazz. We usually tend to support accessibility of the games themselves when possible. But yeah, and the fact that this is a single player game with the multiplayer component, and they just use the excuse there so they can bolster their own numbers on PSN and probably try to upsell you on products within the PSN. It's a scummy move in my opinion. And lastly, just to speak out here on Assassin's Creed Shadow, more in technical terms, I didn't notice this when it came out. The game will not come on Steam. I didn't even know this because they had their last games, including Valhalla, on Steam. The game will launch only on Epic Game Store and Ubisoft Store on PC. Again, another shot in the foot. With all this backlash regarding, especially for a lot of Japanese people, didn't like their move around these two main characters here, for a variety of reasons. But yeah, again, in terms of user base here, Epic Game Store doesn't have a lot of users that will buy the games. People tend to forget that a lot of PC users have Epic Game Store because they can access to free games the way I do. We basically use Steam as a platform, and as a distributor of games, we basically use Steam for what it's worth. It has its positives. I think the main negative draw there is because it basically has a handle and a monopoly on things on the PC market in terms of distribution. But I just hope that Epic Game Store will improve to a similar level as a Steam storefront, with all those communities, marketplaces, and also the mod support there. I think if they improve in that sense, I think we will see more users coming about and using Epic Game Store as they use to a certain degree Steam. But yeah, and Ubisoft on PC, again, we only have the Ubisoft and the EA apps because it's basically now a necessity for you to play games that are from those publishers. So we don't use them. I at least don't know anybody, or if it is a rarity, people that use this to buy games within that store. Again, besides that, the apps themselves are a shit show. The games are more expensive there than in Steam, so it is what it is. They rarely have some deals there. They might have some UB points or EA point stuff scheme trying to happen there, but it's not worth it. Yeah, this is going to backfire. And supposedly also they had like a mandatory connection all times. On the site it said that you basically need to be connected, even though it was not clarified that supposedly it's only for to install game, which is not even good for people that will buy the game disc version, because they will need to connect online to finish the installing of the game, which means that in terms of digital media conservation, this will not work. So that this basically is useless in that sense. But yeah, it's just a wrap up here on the situation with Assassin's Creed Shadows. The fact that it will not come to Steam, at least at launch, and they have this internet connection thing for you to install. And of course, we know that the patches will be delivered online, so it is what it is. And lastly, we got here Enotria, the last song. I talked about this yesterday on the gaming news. There will be a demo next week, but similarly, Fextralife managed to have early access to the demo version of the game, and they made it's a short one. It's basically first impressions on the demo itself. The game seems to be okay-ish, or at least serviceable. There are some things they liked, others they don't, but again, I recommend you to watch the video because they go a little bit more in depth on what they like and didn't like, of course. But yeah, in terms of news, this is what I got that caught my eye for today. It's something like major happens, of course. I feel kind of forced of making a video by itself, but yeah, for today I don't think we will have a lot of things except for what we talked about in the last 2 days. But yeah, in terms of gaming deals, we got now on the free game section of Epic Game Store, we got Dragon Age Inquisition. This is the Game of the Year edition. I think it has all the DLC and the such there. Interestingly enough, I cannot claim this on my zone, on the Middle Eastern zone. I don't know if it is something like an error on the game store or something like that, but I don't know. At this moment, I tried to claim it, but it says it's not available on my zone, so I suppose I will not play this game. On Steam, we got The Witcher Wild Hunt. I need to cover some stuff from CD Projekt Red, but yeah. The Witcher Wild Hunt, again, it's an excellent game regardless. I really recommend the complete edition, which got the DLC stuff there. Again, 75% off. I think it's an excellent deal. And we got also Cyberpunk 2077, sorry. I recommend Ultimate Edition. It's got the Phantom Liberty DLC, which improves a lot on the story side and how the game plays itself. Doesn't bring anything exclusive except for the Relic perk system, I think, which is exclusive to DLC, but the rest is yeah, it comes with a patch version 2.1 or something, 2.1, yeah. Yeah, again, this recommendation all over the place. I will have to buy it one of these days and do a gameplay series on this one. Seems I'm very curious to play this game now. We got Liza Pi or Liza P, 30% off. Again, supposedly the DLC will come before the end of the year. We'll see how that goes. We got Void Busters again. I think the mixed results here, again, I don't have a lot of time to go around and perusing the mixed reviews here. But even though it's around 60 plus in terms of positive reviews, I think it's because people thought the game will be more long than it is. It's a short game in the sense that you can complete it in around 10 to 12 hours. But if you're not sure, you can check my gameplay series on this game. I made a series until just for the main story there. But yeah, I recommend this game, especially at this price point. We got also Guardians of the Galaxy, or Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, 75% off. And lastly, we got Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom, 85% off. Again, I really always enjoy this. Seems very Ghibli style animation, and the story seems more than good. So yeah, This is the second on the duology of Ni no Kuni. On GOG, we got Alien Isolation, the collection, 80% off. Again, this is an excellent game still. I think even the graphics holds up to this day, even though it's a 2015 game. Yeah, I made a series playing it at 1080p. At the time, it's what my computer managed to handle. I will replay eventually this as a 4K game. And yeah, I'll probably also play the DLC stuff or the extra content that they had there. We got also Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut, 85% off. We got Mankind Divided Digital Deluxe Edition, 85% off. Again, got all the extra goodies there. And finally, we got Dredge, 30% off. This is the standard edition. There is no extra DLC stuff. It's just soundtracks and all that stuff on the digital deluxe edition. Yeah, digital deluxe edition. But yeah, basically this is it what I got for you today, guys. I will just leave it my plug on my Patreon as usual. I'm also at the moment on Ko-Fi. Again, this is very recent account that I made there. I don't know if it is better or the same thing as Epic Game Store of Patreon. But yeah, I have accounts both of them. I got all the info on the description on those videos regarding extra support. But yeah, I will leave the Patreon here. The extra support at this moment in time is for me to try to get a better storage solutions for me to be able to get backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and also have some extra storage for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.